Packers had a gritty 30-27 win this week against the Jags. Malik Willis continued to show that he can be efficient, replacing Jordan Love, and tons of other things that happen on offense. But let's dive right into the film. Let's do a little bit of a breakdown for how they performed this week from a coach's perspective. All right, starting with this first play, obviously the run game was very important in this game, but we're going to see the motion and how this allows some movement from the linebackers to open up a gap for the Packers run game early on. And we're going to end up seeing that number 23 is a problem for the Packers, but here they just do a good job of getting that seal on the outside and getting a big run. So Packers run game was working quite well this game, but we'll see this motion. You can see number 23 moving inside. Right, and that's going to make this block significantly easier for Ryan, right? So you can see him moving inside to this hash mark rather than being out here from that original position, right? Ryan is going to be able to get up to that next level after Myers secures it. Tom just pushes that edge rusher up the field, and it's going to create a nice seam. So well-executed run at the start. And then I think the Packers offense underperformed. And this is the big reason why. Here you just have a booming punt. I don't think you could have a more perfect punt out at that half-yard line, and it is just impossible to get the ball moving if you're starting at your own half-yard line. So Packers had a few possessions where they're starting within their own 10, and they weren't able to do anything with those. And then when you compound that with mistakes on third down, so this is that same drive right after, got 3rd and 5, and we've got Reed making a similar mistake to last week, ball in his hands, and he's dropping that. So that was, a diving catch, not able to hold on to it. But, if you're starting at your own 1-yard line, you kind of need those to keep that drive going and get some more space, even if it's just to play the field possession game. Next play, we've got Dobbs, who's going to be the target. Again, you can see starting within the 10-yard line, that field position is not very good. We're just going to have Dobbs come up here and essentially run a little bit of a throwback route. So he's going to sell the high cross, and then he's going to break, and he's going to get man coverage. So the Jaguars, again, you can see identify man coverage just by looking at the eyes of the DBs, right? The eyes of the DBs are locked. So we saw that in the preview. I mentioned that Dobbs and Watson were going to get a ton of targets, and they did indeed. And you've got this right here, Dobbs making a big play down the field, moving that ball. All right, here we go. Another route to Dobbs here. And this is just a simple hot route. We can see you've got a blitz that's coming off the edge. All right, where do you want to throw whenever there's a blitz? There's obviously going to be empty grass in that area. So this is just going to be a simple glance route, slant route that's going to be right over the middle of the field, replacing that blitzer. All right, so you've now got man coverage coming from the third level, not just the second level, but that third level. And Savage is not able to cover Dobbs in that situation. So just good recognition here by Love after the snap. So we'll see. We've got that flip of the back. He's got his eyes up. He recognizes the blitzer, and he's set already. Fires that ball and gets a big gain to Dobbs again. I mentioned this earlier, but number 23 on the Jags was making things tough, and we'll just see him on this play. He is right here. This is an outside run. This is a toss. All right, so we got the O-line stretching out, outside zone blocking. Even we had a little bit of a pin pull here. All right, so the idea is you pin this guy, you pull the tackle, right? So you get a lead blocker. And just look at the pursuit here from number 23. Again, I'll circle him, and you'll want to watch him pursue all the way down the line, meets Tom, sets that edge, and is able to tackle Jacobs for minimal gain. Actually, no gain on this play, but just the movement. And obviously, he wasn't in the last 4 games for the Jags, so it was hard to get some recent film on him, but that guy is a baller. And then here we've got a grave mistake from Love. And just well read here by the DB. That's 2nd and 10. We know that the Packers love to do their quick outs. And this is a long throw. He's on the other side of the field, right? He's on the opposite hash. So by this being a long throw, setting that up, right, the DB is just able to undercut it, and Dobbs is not able to make a play on it. So I think the Jags understood in these situations, 2nd and 10, if we've got off coverage, they're going to try to get these quick outs, and number 22 reads it perfectly and gets a turnover. Nothing too special on this next one. Obviously, that pick led then to a McKinney interception, and this is that possession right after, and you're just going to get a simple handoff to Jacobs. So Packers offense was efficient when they had a short field, but when they had a long field and a ton of yards to go, they weren't that efficient in converting on 3rd downs. And now we'll have a huge play, which is just good instinct here by Kraft. All the way down the field, gets a big play. And unfortunately, this one doesn't end up being a touchdown, right? Because of certain instances that happen, within that 10-yard line. Not able to get a touchdown, but do get a field goal on this drive. But this is just good instinct, and we'll see it from this end zone angle. You can see pressure. He's forced to scramble out, and Kraft is able to turn upfield, loses his defender, switches the ball, stiff arms, keeps going, and has a huge gain for this Packers offense. And next play, we're going to have our eyes on Ryan here. And this is where things could improve, right? In pass protection, Ryan is obviously not as stout, but just going to watch his feet here and what happens. So he's going to have an outset there. And he gets crossed over his face, but that pressure gets inside. And because Love is not mobile at the moment, he's just going to lob it up there. And that could have been a touchdown if he's able to have a clean pocket. And if he hits Sims on his break right here, instead of drifting back. All right, this is potential for a touchdown if Love is anticipating this. Right, if he knows that his teammate's there going to that corner, which he should, if he just sets and throws right now, that is going to be a touchdown. But Ryan gets that pressure, so he's got to drift back in order to get this ball out, lobs it up, and unable to get that to his teammate. Next play, we're going to focus on Watson here. I think he and Love are just not on the same page for this play. All right. We've got him slowing down. So I assume that this is going to be a timing route around this area. But Watson is turning to the inside, and that ball is coming on the outside. So I don't know if this was thought to be a deep curl by Watson, right? Looks like it's supposed to be around, 14, 15-yard curl. Gets to 15, comes back. But he throws it to the back shoulder, and I'm not sure if this was meant to be a comeback, right? Because if he comes up and then breaks it to the outside, this might actually be an accurate pass. So not sure if Watson missed his route here, if he was meant to do a comeback, or if it was supposed to be a deep curl. And I think he puts his hand on his chest here and he says that he's in the wrong. So I think that is supposed to be a comeback rather than this deep curl. And you come back the next play and you're going to go up to Dobbs here. And this was just a crazy throw, a crazy catch. Nothing too much. A nice outside release here. You get the split release. Nice double move. This is something that I was thinking earlier after the pick that they would try to do a little bit more often, is sell that double move, because on these second and 10, 3rd and 10 situations, Packers love to do those quick outs. So a double move is perfect. And Dobbs, just a crazy catch there. Love knew he was going that way. Not the prettiest ball, but a great catch there by Dobbs. He had a fantastic game again. And then by this point in the game, you start to see Love is very, very immobile. And the O-line is not able to keep up with this Jags pass rush. And a big reason why is going to be number 44 here on the outside. All right, just watch what happens in order to create a little bit of a stunt, a little bit of a loop on the outside. Just the power from number 44 that's going to collapse this line. So he comes in and just takes out the right guard there. And Tom is not able to keep up with that. And that's just incredible pass rush there. And there's not much that you can do as an offensive line if you've got someone rushing with that type of power. Again, he's knocking a 300-pound man on his ass, basically. And that forces that pressure and an incomplete pass. And this next play will focus on Watson. This is just going to be a basic route that's going to be caught over the middle. And I just felt that Watson and Dobbs, they would be the ones that would be targeted in this game. I just felt watching film that they would be better matchups against these Jags DBs, and they were the ones that were targeted more out of the receivers. And now we have a change at quarterback. We've got Malik Willis, who is in, and this is just one of the strengths of bringing Malik Willis in is his ability to run. All right, there's nothing downfield, so we see he's setting up for a pass. All right, this is going to be a tough pass. This, again, a tough pass. You've got tight coverage on all of these receivers. All right, so that he's got to have a perfect throw if he wants to be able to complete that. And then if we just look on this side of the field, there's nothing. All right, so with everyone drifting this way, following these receivers, that's going to create a massive lane for Malik Willis. All right, able to evade the pass rush. Reed is there getting a block, and he smartly slides down. So Willis, coming in relief, has been incredibly efficient. I wouldn't say that he's better than Love, but I think he's making smarter decisions. He's being very conservative, and it's really helping the team. So he's not trying to do anything crazy. He's not turning the ball over. He's getting positive yards, and he's helping the Packers. And that big scramble then sets up this run by Jacobs, and this is just an incredible run, incredible individual effort to evade the defender and then take this the distance. So got an inside run there. You've got a little bit of a pull from here, right? So ideally, if you're pulling a guard to that side, you're going to want to follow him, but Jacobs and his vision is going to take him the other way, right? You have a nice seam that opens up because you have the safety that crashes down, and then all you have to do, he could take that up, right, and get some easy yards, but he's got the vision to know that if he gets outside this guy, he's just got a corner on the outside, and we've got a deep safety. So breaks that tackle, breaks another arm tackle, and the safety not able to get there. Watson doing a good job sealing down here, and we can see a block down here by Melton as well, getting his position, right, able to seal him off and create a lane for Jacobs to the end zone. And this was just an incredible play by Jacobs, and he just seemed to elevate his play once Jordan Love was off the field. Everyone on the team elevated their play. We had a better push from the offensive line. Jacobs, again, with this individual effort, able to kind of carry the team in that second half. And then because we've been running the ball all over, here you go, read option. Now they have to respect it. You can see the eyes. All right, you got 1, 2, 3 sets of eyes all on the QB, all looking for that run. And guess what? Nobody's paying attention to Tucker Kraft, and the easiest, whatever that Deion Sanders wannabe walk-in was, easiest touchdown for Kraft, and Packers extend their lead. Then you've got a few 3-and-outs, not able to get anything going because Jaguars are focused on that run, and you can just see that looking at this box. You have everyone condensed inside the numbers within 5 yards of the ball. You have 10 players in that box that I've drawn. You've got one high safety. That's it. So what do you think they're trying to do? Trying to stop that run. All right, so you play action, and guess what? You have a little bit of a leak out, and now you've got a safety stumbling, trying to catch up, and you've got a huge play to Jaden Reed. So this is just a great design. Oftentimes, it's going to be a tight end, right? You've got Reed here in that tight end slot. So they assume because you've got the tight end on this side, you do that play action to that side, that there's going to be that movement of the run. So everyone takes a run, but then you have a little bit of a rollout. So now they have to readjust. They start to see that rollout, and you're going to have this nice little throwback to Jaden Reed, and you're going to have a safety that realizes it way too late. So number 5 there realizes way too late. You can see first his eyes go to the QB, and you have a nice little bit of a rub rat there. Watson obviously just running his route, but creates a little bit of a rub. And Willis with a perfect ball to put the Packers in field goal range. Then we've got Chris Brooks, who on a highlight on this play, and just a very, very smart play in general. I think a lot of people were confused. Why not just score there? I think you take the first down. They have no timeouts. All right, they have to use all their timeouts. You can let the clock run out down to 3 seconds and just win the game, because this is shorter than an extra point. All right, we'll watch the game-winning kick as well. It's shorter than an extra point these days, and McManus is not going to miss that. All right, the worst-case scenario is you miss it, you go to overtime. Right? I mean, I guess the actual worst-case scenario is they block it and they return it for a touchdown, but that's not as likely to happen. Right? If Brooks takes it in, they score with a minute left. It gives the Jaguars time to get on offense and go down the field and potentially score a touchdown. And with aggressive coaches like Doug Peterson, if they get a touchdown, I think he goes for 2 and goes for the win, and he lives with whatever happens on that 2-point call. So I think this was a smart call. Chris Brooks goes down, run the clock down to 3 seconds, call a timeout, get the field goal unit out there, give McManus 2 weeks in a row game-winning opportunities, and he is going to deliver for the Packers. All right, so that's going to do it for today's video. Not the most technical breakdown, but just kind of giving you the bird's eye view of what I thought were the key plays in this game. And the Packers are able to squeak away with a win. All right, Jaguars were definitely an underdog, and they played better than what I had seen on film. So it was definitely a tough win, and Packers are lucky to escape that trap game. If you guys enjoy this content, please subscribe. I would appreciate it very much. And I will be back with more videos with the Packers defensive breakdown coming out very shortly. And of course, a preview of this week's game against the Detroit Lions in Green Bay. Thank you guys for stopping in, and I'll see you in the next video.